Warriors, get your shit together. My name is Coach JV. I am the top health and mindset coach in the world. What you believe in your heart, you think in your mind, will eventually become your words and become your reality. If you can see it in your mind, eventually you can hold it right here in your hand. What you repeatedly do gets ingrained in your subconscious mind. What gets ingrained in your subconscious mind becomes an unconscious activity. Well, guess what? I don't have any news for you today. I'm not going to bring you any XRP news, crypto news. We're going to get down and dirty. I'm going to share with you guys why you need to get your shit together. Now, if you're somebody who is offended by cuss words, you're offended by real talk, if you're offended by a long-haired hippie dude who is about to tell you how it is, then you probably should stop watching this video right now. As you can tell, probably by following me, I'm not looking for likes. I'm not looking for comments. What I'm looking to do is to shake people up a little bit, to start to take control of their lives, to make better decisions. And I'm going to share with you guys right now, I feel inclined to do this. And I'm going to share with you guys my journey the last year and a half. And this is about cryptocurrency. And it's very important to understand this. I would highly recommend you follow all the way through. So why do I tell people to get their shit together? And why does it make people so unbelievably uncomfortable? Because that's what I did a year and a half ago. And that's why I can boldly say, get your shit together. Because that's what I did. I'm not trying to call you out or make you feel uncomfortable. What I'm sharing with you right now, I'm looking into your eyes and telling you that you're part of the biggest shift in generational wealth. That we will never in our history, in our kids' history, and their kids' history, have an opportunity that's been presented to us like this ever again, ever again. So I'm going to share with you how quickly my life has changed in a year and a half. Now, I'm not foolish. I'm not resting on my laurels. I'm not sitting back going, okay, life is going to continue to be like this, because it's a continuation of education, persistence, discipline, and purpose. So a year and a half ago, I was going through a divorce. Okay. My business was doing okay. And all of a sudden, I found myself losing all my money. Once again, for the third time, I had lost all my money. Now, you might ask yourself, why the hell would I follow a dude that's lost his money 3 times? I don't know. I wouldn't. I'm going to share with you the whole story right now. So 15 years ago, let's back up. I attempted suicide on December 18, 2006. I had a massive opiate addiction. I was a competitive bodybuilder. I owned a bodybuilding company. I was doing some club promotion stuff. I thought I was much bigger than I really was. In my head, I was much bigger than I really was. I hadn't dealt with those things that happened to me as a child, and I attempted suicide on December 18, 2006. I woke up from a phone call from my mom. So my mom called and she said, you need to reach. She had no idea that she woke me up from basically a self-induced coma from a massive amount of opiates. I thought I killed myself. And I wake up to a phone call from my mom with the Razor flip phone. You can read the book Roids to Riches. It's on Amazon. ROIDS to Riches, the Fall and Rise of a Spiritual Man. Okay. So I wake up to a book called The Secret. And so I read this book called The Secret. And at this point, my life is effed up in the physical world, right? So at this point, I'm addicted to opiates. I've lost my business. I can't take care of my 3-year-old daughter, and I need to make a decision. And I made a decision in that moment to believe this book called The Secret, The Great I Am, to create vision boards that are all over our walls here in the Warrior Academy now. So I started to create a clear vision and an imagination of what I wanted in my life. I started saying, I'm powerful, I'm beautiful, I'm abundant. I used to look in the mirror and look at myself. And at this point, I was struggling. I'm like, financially, I'm like, I need to get a job. It was like this, and I switched to need to, I want to get a job. And I started to change my verbiage internally. And I promise you, this will make sense about getting your shit together. This is really important. I feel God is directing me to tell you this story right now. I was like, you know what? Fuck the news. I'm going to tell you guys exactly how it is and exactly why I'm here and exactly why I'm so passionate, exactly why I wake up at 2:50 in the morning, exactly why I show up every day and I do multiple videos and I have thousands and thousands of podcasts and I have thousands of YouTube videos and I have thousands and thousands of social media posts because I am purpose driven. This is a mission. This is not a business to me. Okay. So I started to do what's called The Secret, and I started to follow these patterns, and I started to study people who were successful. And I started to build these behaviors. I would wake up early in the morning. I would meditate. I would pray. I started getting into fasting. I started getting into high intensity training instead of like bodybuilding type stuff. And all of a sudden my life started to improve. Then I get a job, and then it becomes a career. And then I move up to the executive rank, and I'm in banking school, and all these things happen to me. But let's fast forward to a year and a half. Well, let's go to when I walked. So I walked out of corporate America on August 2017 to follow this dream of starting a speaking company and writing books and stuff. And it flopped. It literally flopped. I started my first fitness program online. I built it in 2017. I launched my first fitness program in January 2018. Guess how many people signed up? 0 on the launch, January 1st. That's the biggest time in fitness. 0 people signed up. In the first week, 3 people signed up, and within the second week, they canceled. Do you know how debilitating that was? Got back up, got my shit together, dust myself off, boom, studied, went back to work. Okay. Now at this point, I had quite a bit of money in the bank, right? Money starts to run out, so I could live off it. So for about the last 3 years, I was hardly being paid. And then the money started to get really, really tight. I'm like, okay, this is crazy. So it's a little bit easier, right? When you have some money in the bank, when you have some money in the bank sitting there, you're like, all right, it's pretty easy to build a business, right? But then when it starts to get down, it starts to get smaller and smaller and smaller. And then there was a moment in time, a couple deciding moments where I had to motivate myself to get your shit together, right? There was a moment in time where the money was gone. The money was gone. Getting divorced, business is doing okay, right? There was this moment in time where I had a choice to walk away. There was 2 moments where I had a choice to walk away. The money was almost completely gone. Getting divorced. And I was like, okay, what am I going to do? So I moved back in with my parents. I moved back in with my parents at 43 years old. People are like, oh, look at, why would I listen to this dude? You probably should. I don't know. You have to make a decision. You obviously feel something for me because I'm going to tell you what happened. So I moved in with my parents and my 2 kids, right? So we, amicable divorce. We just kind of moved onward. We get along and we raise our kids. And and so here I am living with my parents at 43 years old. And I decided to be transparent about it. I was like, you know what? TikTok, I live with my fucking parents. But what I did is I got my shit together. That was the 3rd time I had lost all my money. And in that moment in time, I realized that there was something up with my brain. My brain did not understand how wealth works. My brain was raised in a impoverished paradigm. My brain was raised in poverty, in a impoverished mindset. We were average middle-class family, but it was impoverished mindset. It was, we can't afford that. Money doesn't grow on trees. We didn't have those things. My parents still in their house literally have the same exact setup since almost 1973, right? There was no advancement, and that's there's nothing wrong with that. They have a good life, comfortable life, but it's like there was no like reaching straw. It's just everything's the same, right? So my brain didn't understand outside of that. My reticular activating system just saw this just simplistic, and I was like, okay, I have to change my brain. So I started studying multimillionaires and billionaires. I'm like, holy shit, they're completely different than us. Completely different. They think completely different than us. So I'm like, how do I need to think? So I had read Think and Grow Rich, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And I'm like, okay. I had read all these books, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, right? And so I was able to make money, but I kept losing it. And so the book that changed my life was Richest Man in Babylon. So I moved back in with my parents. And once I read Richest Man in Babylon, and I understood every time something came in, $1, I needed to make that dollar birth another dollar, brother and sister, and grow it, right? So I moved in with my parents, and I had every excuse in the world just to give up. So now the C word hits, our business starts to go up. The C word hits, boom, they shut our business down. So now there's no income, 0 income coming in, right? So I had a choice, and this is where Get Your Shit Together comes in. Because a lot of you are saying, I don't have the money to invest. Some of you quit the program. I can't afford it. That is a lie, an absolute lie you're telling yourself. And when you say that, you're teaching your kids that. Your kids don't listen to a word you say. They watch what they do, watch what you do. They watch you give up every single time. They watch you struggle. They watch you get pissed at people that have money. They listen to the words you say, and then they watch what you do, okay? There is resources everywhere, and you've never been in a moment in time like this in history. You can drive Uber, you can do Postmates, you literally could start a business right now online. But the thing is, everybody has money to invest in the biggest shift in generational wealth. It's a paradigm that you believe that you're broke. They built you into a system that keeps you just over broke, that makes you think you have to have a job and you need to work for money. So you have a moment in time right now. And the reason why I'm telling you to get your shit together, because you have a moment in time right now. So what I did for a year and a half is I went crazy disciplined. I didn't spend, I mean, I'm still wearing the same freaking clothes right now. And in a year and a half, I was able to build $1 million company. I was able to get a large amount of assets, in my opinion, right? That amount of assets and the amount that I invested in cryptocurrency, if the bull run goes the way we think it's going to go, yes, I will be a millionaire this year. Personally, I also built $1 million company. So just off the company, eventually I will be a millionaire. But now what's happening, because I got my shit together, this is what's tripping me out, why I wanted this video, is do you realize the people that are coming into my life now, because I opened up a whole new paradigm within my mind? Now I'm going to be connecting with somebody this week, Monday, Tuesday, a multi-millionaire that I'll be mentoring with. And my whole life changed in a year and a half because I got my shit together. That's why I said it. I stopped watching porn. I stopped doing fapping. I stopped doing all the bullshit that was taking my focus away. I got focused. I didn't date. I stayed completely focused. So when most men end up single, what do? They go out and party. No, I stayed focused on my kids. I stayed focused on learning. I stayed focused on growing. I stayed focused on training. I lived with my parents as long as I could. That's kind of embarrassing, but it wasn't embarrassing to me because I knew the end game. In a year and a half, my life is completely different. Like I said, I built $1 million company. We produce about $3,000 a day in income. We're continuing to go up. And the things that I'm about to do in the next level are going to take us probably from 1 million to 10 million because I got my shit together. You have to break free from this impoverished mindset, warriors. And I'm not saying this to brag. I was in the position you were a year. Now, was I making a lot of money as executive? Yes. But why was I broke? Because this was broken. You will never be wealthy if you don't change your mind and get your shit together. You have to stop buying stuff to impress people that you don't even like. Gary Vee says that, right? A lot of you drive cars that you can't even afford. If you can't afford the fucking car cash, you shouldn't be financing it for 84 months. Doesn't make any sense. If you make $30,000 and you drive a $30,000 car, your car costs as much as your salary. That doesn't make any sense. I drive a paid off car that was given to me by my parents. Think about that. I worked a deal with them. That car out there is a Malibu car. It's literally, I could buy whatever car I want right now, but that doesn't matter because I'm getting my shit together, warriors. I don't give a shit what people see that I drive. I'm the Ferrari getting out of a Malibu that's paid off. I take my money and I invest it. And until those assets can pay for the luxuries, I will not buy anything luxury, warriors. So I feel God directed me to do this video because some of you are sitting there watching the TikTok videos and watching the YouTube videos, and it's exciting and you wanted to get in crypto, but it doesn't matter if you get into crypto. It doesn't matter if you take advantage of the crash and the bull run. But if you don't change this, warriors, nothing's going to change for you. Nothing. That was the difference. I made money before I attempted suicide. I made money as executive, but why did I end up broke 3 times? Because this was broken, warriors. And if you're living in the normal system of the world, your brain is broken. You were born into a system to keep you just over broke. You realize that, right? You went to school. Okay. You had 2 15-minute recesses, a 30-minute lunch. What does that sound like? You went to school Monday through Friday. What does that sound like? A corporate job. You were trained to memorize, not to learn. Okay. You were trained to memorize to pass test. Think about that. You were trained to memorize to pass test. So they wanted you, these workers. So when you go into corporate America, you just memorize the job. You sell the coffee. You keep your mouth shut. You don't question the boss, right? But if you do, you're going to get fired. If you want to be innovative, you're going to get fired because your boss who got picked on as a kid, you know what? Nope. You just need to keep your mouth shut. In school, if you went out of sorts, right? If you started to create, it's like, stay in line, Bobby, Warriors, we're designed into a system. And there's a moment in time right now where we really need to get our shit together because all of you watching this right now, 143 people, do you realize that this is the biggest shift in generational wealth in history? that the richest people in the world, and this isn't about money wars, because if it was about money, I'd be driving fancy cars and I wouldn't be dressing like I dress. Well, I would dress like this anyways. This is about helping you create freedom, because I drive a Malibu and I feel rich as shit, and I have financial freedom. I don't have any money worries anymore. But whereas this is the biggest shift in generation. You keep hearing that, but let me explain what it is. We're moving from industrial to technical. About 40% of jobs in the next 10 years are going to get wiped out, and it's going to be the middle class. And it's most people watching these videos. There's a whole new financial system coming in. Okay. There is going to be a whole slew of businesses that get crushed with technology. And those who do not innovate, it is a blockbuster moment. The blockbuster, the business, right? Those who don't have CEOs who have innovative, futuristic kind of a mindset, and they don't have the capital to transition into this new quantum system and this new blockchain type system, they're going to perish. But there's never been an opportunity for you to be involved in it. This is it. This is like Henry Ford creating cars and you getting into oil. That's what this is about. I wanted to take this moment to share with you my personal story. So in a year and a half, my whole life is different now, warriors. I built $1 million company. We produce about $3,000 a day in income. We're continuing to increase. We're launching some new stuff coming up, and it'll take it probably to a $2 million business. And I'll be able to scale it to 10, because once you can get to 1 million, you can get to 2 and then 10. It's just how the brain works, right? But what it's also done for me is this created opportunity. I'll be meeting with somebody Monday or Tuesday that I'm bringing on as my mentor, and I'm very excited. And I'm actually nervous and anxious. That's a multi-millionaire. And I'm going to learn a whole new area of business that I never thought I would have access to. But that happened in a year and a half, warriors. Now it's a culmination of 15 years of subconscious mind programming, goal setting, vision board creation, writing multiple books, and failing over and over and over and over again to get here, right? Because my business didn't explode until I had about 850 podcasts, thousands of YouTube videos, 17,000 social media posts, but I never gave up, warriors. Because every time I fell down, I said to myself, get your shit together. You got 2 beautiful children that are relying on you. You got families that are relying on you. You got people that are relying on you. You have great information that people can learn from. So I've been just brutally authentic about my life. And I love the haters. I love the haters. I love the haters. I love when they say, well, you lived with your mom. They shouldn't listen to me. Don't listen to me. Feel me. Feel my heart. Feel the realness. I don't edit my fucking videos. If you listen to my podcast, I burp. Sometimes I fart. I'm not going to shadow anything from you guys. I learned to expose myself because you're going to find out anyways. You're going to find out anyways. If I'm talking shit and I'm lying, you're going to find out anyways. So I expose myself. This is where I'm at. I had no money a year and a half ago. I got a pretty big crypto portfolio. If it goes the way it should, and I have my exit strategy set up, then my whole life is going to change this year. If it completely collapses, then fuck, I'll be back down at zero. But I built $1 million company, and now, but I know how to. I'm the richest man. I know how to move money now. I'll never be broke ever again in my life because I'm not broke here. That's the point of this whole story right now. Right here, warriors. Right here. Right here. I'm not broke here, so you can't take shit from me. You can take this away from me. You can take this away from me. You can take the car away from me, but you can't take away the wealth, because this is it, warriors. And that's why I push my Warrior Academy so hard. We've had over 2,000 people join in the last year. And out of 2,000, about 900 have gone through my 120 challenge. You know why? Because they don't want to put in the work. They want the red, or they want the answer. They're like, give me the answer to get rich quick. There is no get rich quick. There is no get rich quick. It doesn't exist. You don't want to get what you don't deserve. You do not want to get what you don't deserve, because you will lose it quicker than shit. So what we do is we develop people through our 120-day challenge. And those who go through the 120 challenge, subconscious mind programming, goal setting, vision board creation, nutrition, we work out with you live daily. And then the bonus is you have access to my portfolio, my exit strategy. You fill out your own exit strategy. You're surrounded by a community. So I'll leave you with this. Here's how you get your shit together. Number one is you change your activities. Number one, your health activities. You know, I believe in fasting. Start a fast, consult your doctor, get a fasting protocol, start drinking water, get rid of all the bullshit. Number two is you need to start some sort of education program. You need to start educating your mind, okay? You need to start educating. Number three, you need to cut out frivolous spending. Cut it out. And number 4, you need to figure out a way to come up with income. And it's very easy, warriors. If you're a married couple, get your shit together for a year and a half. Say, listen, we're going to buckle down, honey. Spouse, partner, loved one, we're going to buckle down right now. We're going to rotate. You watch the kids one night. I'm going to go drive Uber and do Postmates. We'll flip-flop. We'll go back and forth. We'll go back and forth. We'll go back and forth. And we're going to take that $25 extra a day that we made, and we're going to invest that shit. And we're going to go hard, and we're going to pay off every bit of debt we have. And within a year and a half, we're going to completely change their life. We're never going to live like that. And your kids are going to see it. My daughter is 17 years old. She started her first job. She has seen her dad go through freaking hell and build up. This kid knows resilience. She knows what assets are now. She knows what it looks like to get your shit together. So warriors, God prompted me to freaking do this video. I could share with you XRP news. I could share with you, the market, blah, 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 blah. But until you get your shit together right here, I wanted to tell my story and tell you to get your shit together. And that's what I mean by it, warriors. So I'm going to give it to you real. I'm going to give it to you authentic. I'm going to come to you with 1 to 2 videos a day, every single day during Monday through Thursday. But what I won't do, warriors, is I will never back down. I will never bow down. I will never change because of haters. I will never change how I talk, how I walk, how I think. You could say whatever you want to me. I will not change who I am. And I expect you not to change who you are. All I expect you to do is change your paradigm and stop letting people control you. Stop letting people control you. This is your life. 1 in 400 trillion to become a human being. Do not waste it, warriors. Do not waste it. This is a beautiful opportunity. And whatever I believe in God, I follow the life of Jesus. Whatever you believe in, I believe in. Because that's your paradigm. It's not mine. So warriors, decisive action today. Get with your spouse. Get with your partner. Get with your loved one. Get with your friends. If you don't have any friends, get with our crew. Let's go. Click the link down below. You can join our 120 challenge. Join our free Discord. Get involved in a community and stop thinking like the sheep. Stop. Just stop. Just stop. But what you're afraid of is judgment, because everybody's going to judge you. You don't have to prove anything to anybody, warriors. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. I ain't trying to prove shit to anybody. When I go around family events, I sit silent until I'm asked questions. My family will probably verify. I sit there and I sit silent until I'm asked questions, because I'm not trying to convince anybody to get in crypto. I don't give a shit if you get into crypto. What I care about is getting your shit together, because this is a beautiful opportunity right now. So that's what I felt like talking about today. I really love you guys. I really fucking do. I really, really love you. And I hope, the people that met us in Vegas, we had hundreds of people that came. I think you could feel the heart. I mean, I was crying for an hour and a half at the end. I did have a few cocktails, but that might have kicked in. But it got me emotional, right? You're a powerful human being. You know that, right? You know you're a powerful human being. So fucking act like it. Get your shit together. I love you guys. Have an amazing, amazing day. Warriors, rise! Let's go.